What is going on, fellow alchemists? Welcome to Astrology. Today we are almost finished up with the Mars series and Mars going through the houses. It's Mars in the 11th house. But firstly, I hope you're all doing alright. The world isn't driving you too round the bend. You're managing to hold on and your chakras are all in line and you're spiritually enabled to connect with the high above. That being said, let's just proceed into this one. It's Mars in the 11th house. So Mars in the 11th house. What happens when Mars goes into the house that's ruled over traditionally by Aquarius? What is the 11th house? The 11th house is our public service. This is the most humanitarianly oriented sign. The 11th house and the Aquarius in particular is also a very eccentric type of sign. You get a lot of people who are quite weird, who are quite strange because of this placement. Remember, it's a fixed air sign. So this really can bring out the type of eccentricities that you see in a lot of people, because they're trying to, trying to present a different type of approach to things in the world, and how things are usually approached are normally not seen as the traditional go-to, because we've just come out of out of Capricorn, which has come out of the 10th house, which is about tradition, which is about keeping things structured, which is about the rigid nature of things. And now we've stepped into Aquarius, which is where everything has kind of taken a lighter stance, where we're now trying to break away from the very rigid cardinal earth to a more fixed air state, where everything changes, where everything has its nature of being other than what it was initially in the first place. So when you have Mars, which is our willpower, which is about our devotion to a cause or devotion to something else, sitting in the 11th house, what happens is that we see a lot of the rebel rousers, we see a lot of the innovators, we see all the creatives in this sense, who not only use them like in the 5th house to be creative, but step out into the world, into that initial public debut, into the way they interact with the world. They bring their creativity out. They start to influence people around them with the creativity, and they change things. These are all of the intellectuals who not only are very smart, but are able to change things, are able to step away from the status quo. So with Mars here, you have the ability to really change how things are done, because you're now moving away from Capricorn and you're in the 11th house, you're in the Aquarius ruled house. You're all about stepping away. That's why Saturn also rules over this house, because it rules over the 10th house, which is Capricorn, which is about the rigid nature of lead. And now in the 11th house, we call this the day house for Saturn. Capricorn, or the 10th house, is the night house, and this is the day house for Saturn. Uranus also rules over this placement, and that is because this is all about changing what we have into a different form, to finally evolve in the 12th house, to evolve in Pisces, to leave the karmic scale of reincarnation and to step out of it and evolve from that into a higher being, and into a higher being or a higher state of existence. So this is a very nice position to have for Mars if it is used correctly, because if it is not, we have the swindler. We have someone who could be a bit of a con artist. We have someone who understands how to work with humanity and manipulate them in the way that they want to, because they're quite intelligent. Remember that they always are quite intelligent with this placement. And so with Mars, that energy that gives you that push, that drive, you could be very, very good at swindling people if you use the lower octave of this placement. The higher octave is about changing how things are set up. It's about revolutionizing that concept that you're most interested in and you're most dedicated towards, the devotion that you find with Mars and what you're most devoted to changing in the 11th house. So fellow alchemists, I hope you really enjoyed that one. That was Mars in the 11th house. Please don't forget to subscribe, drop a like down below, and most importantly, go down into the comment section, tell us what it's like to have Mars in the 11th house, what you kind of deal with in your life, what kind of obstacles come through with this placement. And actually, paramount to all of that, I hope you really take good care of yourself, and I'll see you next time when I do Mars in the 12th house. Until then, goodbye.